Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus by Dusty Bowling, Chapter 29. I opened the front door to let Connor in. He trudged into the apartment, his shoulders slumped. He looked so depressed, I thought he might burst into tears. "Is everything okay?" I asked him. He shrugged, and I couldn't tell if it was a tic or if he was deliberately being evasive. He leaned against the wall, not looking at me, and let out a bark. "My parents are taking a big piece of fence out of the rodeo arena so the food trucks can get through. I've been working on that stupid report for language arts." He just stared at the kitchen floor. "Hey, guess the name of the band we got to play for the festival," I said, hoping he'd snap out of whatever funk he was in. He shrugged again. "The Flapjackaroos," I laughed. "They normally do gigs for like Waffle Houses and stuff, but I guess the country western breakfast entertainment business isn't booming, so we got them to do the festival. Cheap, too." He still didn't look at me. "Is everything okay with your mom?" I asked. He finally spoke. "Yeah." "Did something happen at school?" He didn't answer me, just barely shook his head. Hoping I could cheer him up, I said, "Hey, I have a surprise for you." He followed me into the living room. I sat on the edge of the small couch, my guitar at my feet. "Sit down." I motioned with my head for him to sit beside me. He dropped his backpack on the floor and flopped down on the couch with a big dramatic sigh. I plucked at the strings with my toes for a second and adjusted one of them. I took a deep breath, willed my pounding heart to slow down, and began to play. I had practiced Moon River every day for the last month, but I still managed to hit a wrong note here and there. It sounded okay, though, and Connor was completely quiet as I played. Completely quiet. When I finished, I looked at him. "You didn't tick the whole time I was playing," I said, almost in a whisper. Like if I spoke any louder, it would shatter the fragile quiet, and Connor would unload all of the ticks he had bottled up while I played. I had thought he would be so happy I had finally played for him after all the times he had asked me, but I saw he had tears in his eyes. "Maybe you could bring the guitar to school and follow me around playing music everywhere I go." A single tear escaped and then ran down his cheek. Then I could stop being a freak. In my whole life, I had seldom felt like I was missing out on anything by not having arms. Some of the only times I had ever wished for them were during those fleeting moments of frustration when my shirt got caught around my neck or some insensitive person tossed something at me without thinking, only to have it bounce off my chest or head. But at this moment, as I watched the tears slide down Connor's cheek, I felt the true loss of not having arms, because I couldn't reach over and wipe it away, and I wasn't about to do it with my foot. "What's wrong?" I asked. Connor shook his head. "I could never do anything like that," he whispered. "Sure you can. You can play the guitar. I'll teach you." "No," he wiped at his cheek. "That's not what I meant. Avon, you don't understand. It's like it doesn't even matter to you that you don't have arms. You still play the guitar and go to museums and restaurants and do all kinds of stuff. I can't do anything. I can't even go out in public." "Of course you can. Look at all you've done lately. Going to the meetings and the movies and coming here all the time. You can even come to the festival. You can do anything." "No, I can't," Connor snapped, jumping up from the couch. "I won't ever be able to do anything with my life. I won't ever be an actor or a politician or a teacher or anything like that. Geez, I can't even go to the movies without renting out the whole theater." My mouth hung open in disbelief. "Why would you want to be a politician?" My great-grandma would have been appalled. I could just see her raising her wrinkled fist in the air and warning Connor about the coming revolution. Connor gazed back at me, so much sadness in his eyes. You want to know why I was so upset when I got here? I nodded. Yes. His ticking was getting bad again. He shrugged his shoulders maniacally as he spoke. I walked to the store before coming here. I wanted to get you some gummy bears. I gaped at him. You stopped at the store by yourself? For me? To get me gummy bears? I know it sounds silly, but to me this was like the equivalent of him going to Antarctica and back to bring me a feather from a penguin. He struggled to get the words out now. I saw someone filming me on their phone. My stomach dropped like it did when I rode a roller coaster. What? Yeah, Avon. They were filming the freak. I shook my head slowly, not wanting to believe it. Maybe they were just doing something else. They weren't, he yelled. So you see, I can't do those things because I'm a freak. Next week, I'll be on YouTube with a bunch of snarky comments about what a psycho I am. I'm never going out in public again. Not to school, not to the meetings, and I'm not going to your stupid festival. Stop it. I tried to stay calm. You're not a freak. No more than I'm a freak. You can do anything you want. Go ahead and become a politician if that's what you want. What's stopping you? This, he cried as his ticking continued unabated. I shook my head. No, you're just upset because of some jerk with a cell phone. You can do anything, Connor. And you're unrealistic to say I can do anything I want. I know your parents have led you to believe you can do whatever you want, but it's not true. You can't be a basketball player or a surgeon or an astronaut. I glared at him. Why couldn't I be an astronaut? Because I'm a girl? Because you have no arms, Avon, he shouted at me in exasperation, like he was revealing some shocking secret I didn't already know. I gritted my teeth. Don't tell me what I can or cannot do, Connor. Oh, really? What's that supposed to mean? How come you won't play your guitar at the festival? How come you won't eat in the cafeteria? I choose not to play the guitar or eat in front of people. It's not because I can't. I don't believe you. I glared at him. We're supposed to encourage each other, Connor. That's what friends do. I'm sorry some disgusting person was filming you at the store, but you have no right to tell me what I can't do because of your disability, he finished for me. Because you're disabled, Avon, like me. I stood up to face him. I don't know why I let what Connor said infuriate me so badly. I had been called disabled before. People had referred to my disability 100 times, but it was like he had used the word to insult me. I could feel my bad temper rising and taking control. I swear if I had arms right now, I'd punch you right in the face, I cried. I'm not disabled. I'm abled. Why are you so mad? Connor said. I'm just stating a fact. I'm disabled. You're disabled. Everyone at that stupid support group is disabled. I'm just telling you like it is. Well, go tell it somewhere else and don't come back, I yelled at him. Fine. Connor could barely get the word out because his ticking was so bad at this point. He grabbed his backpack, took out the bag of gummy bears, threw it on the floor at my feet, and flew out of the apartment. And I suddenly felt incredibly sorry.